One to our 6 in the audience. Oh, all right, we're going to pause for this. For those that are not in game, it says the message is being broadcasted by the White House Chief of Staff at the request of the President of the United States. At exactly 22 UTC, the President has changed the defense readiness condition to level 4. All right. Once this is off my screen, I'll start. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the press briefing room. I look forward to keeping everyone in the loop of the work that this administration is doing over the next month or so. At the end of every briefing, everyone will have the opportunity to ask questions, including those at home. I'm going to give priority to our media seated in the front, but in the spirit of accessibility, I'll be pulling individuals up onto the stage to verbally ask their questions if they choose to do so. We believe it's important that those who can't make it in game with us right now still have a chance to participate. Being transparent starts with everyone, giving everyone a chance to be a part of these press briefings. All right, give us a moment. We were just bombed. Vice President PTY was at the Hamoud Department of State building for a Bangladeshi state visit. I had the privilege of being in that room while talks were being held, and I can say with certainty that this relationship between our two countries will flourish under this administration. Last Saturday, Secretary General Arthur M. Spencer and his Secretariat team were welcomed to the White House for a meeting. In this meeting, President Owen defined the type of foreign policy that he intends to pursue: America's interests first. The way the Department of State, and more broadly, the way all of our federal agencies operate, will put forth the interests of American citizens. We'll only pursue initiatives that deliver clear benefits for our country. That's why earlier this morning, the Department of State terminated all diplomatic, military, and organizational relations with the Republic of China, following the gross allegations and insults that were thrown at us. I have a statement for you all today directly from the Office of the Secretary of State. Quote, effective immediately, the United States is terminating all diplomatic, military, and organizational relations with the Republic of China. All treaties, agreements, partnerships, joint activities, and cooperative activities between the government of the United States and the Republic of China are hereby terminated and considered without further effect. The United States will extend no further diplomatic recognition or official engagement to the Republic of China. The United States rejects in their entirety the allegations and statements made by the Republic of China regarding these negotiations. Accordingly, the United States will not participate in any further discussions concerning this matter. This decision is final and has been issued by direct order of the President of the United States. Any representation that an ongoing relationship, agreement, or official cooperation exists within the United States following the publication of this statement is unauthorized and without standing. The United States regrets that this marks the end of a long-standing alliance with Taiwan. However, the United States states that it cannot continue cooperation where it believes fundamental disputes over the facts have made that cooperation untenable. End quote. And just moments ago, the Secretary of State issued a travel ban on the Republic of China. And as you all saw, the president just lowered the DEFCON, or raised the DEFCON to 4. The United States will not allow our foreign partners to pressure us into AI swap agreements that are entirely unbeneficial to our country. But on a lighter note, President Owen is delivering on his campaign promise to establish the USAID office. Work is underway to set up a Discord server for our foreign partners, and there is significant emphasis being placed on foreign embassies and bringing activity to that sector in coordination with our development team. On the congressional front, two of President Owen's qualified cabinet nominees were confirmed by the Senate on Wednesday. Mr. Jackson Moretti for Director of National Intelligence and Mr. Vinnie Little, who's here with us today, for Secretary of State. We saw the resignation of Mr. Hayes Anarchy earlier this week, which, on a personal note, we all wish him well as a community. And in his place, the president fully intends to nominate Mr. S. Sauce 17 as our next Attorney General. Sauce is serving as Chief of Staff at the Department of Justice and has been working on long-term projects within. Hayes personally recommended Mr. Sauce. Oh, give us a moment. All right, it looks like there's an... Okay, we'll be back. All right. Well, we're back. Welcome back to our press, and for those of you that are joining us at home, we're back from the bombing. It's good to see that our crime community is active and out and about. We were just talking about, I believe we were on Mr. Sauce's appointment as our next Attorney General. Sauce is serving as Chief of Staff at the Department of Justice and has been working on long-term projects within. Hayes personally recommended Mr. Sauce as his successor, and we look forward to his confirmation as our next Attorney General. As for our next Deputy Attorney General, Mr. Bupa will be nominated to fill that position. The White House looks forward to the Senate swiftly passing the remaining cabinet nominees to ensure that our government is fully operational. We anticipate that this process may take a little bit, but this administration respects the Senate's right to advice and consent and will do what we can to support our nominees. When it comes to leadership, Owen remains committed to bringing in competent new faces. We are mentoring tomorrow's leaders and establishing an effective government. These two variables can and must go hand in hand. I'd like to remind the American people and our media here today that this White House will be one of the most transparent. We look forward to maintaining a strong working relationship with Congress to get things done. In regards to the recent restructuring of the Office of Congressional Affairs, I, in coordination with the Chief of Staff, made an organizational change to the White House Discord server. The decision was nothing more than that. We are now engaging with the legislative branch through a single Discord channel rather than an entire category, and the responsibilities of the Congressional Affairs Office remain fulfilled through that channel and the Office of Public Affairs as a whole. Outside of this channel, all members of this administration are reachable via DMs. This is available to our public and members of Congress. All right, I'm actually gonna evacuate the podium now. I hear some shooting. We'll be back. Oh, I still got bombed. We'll be back. All right, we're back. The need to provide Congress with a direct line to the executive branch remains an utmost priority of this administration, and that this is a need that I recognize as a former member of Congress. To everyone currently in Congress, this announcement is for you. If you haven't already done so, please join the White House Discord server so you can gain access to the Congressional Affairs channel. PTY, in his role as president of the Senate, is working closely with the Senate Secretary's office to clean up the mess that was left behind by the previous Congress. They are working around the clock, and I mean that literally, to get our National Archive up to date. Here at the White House, the Oval Office, Vice President's office, and Cabinet Room were redesigned in line with the change of administrations. We of course send our thanks to the development team for doing so, and the White House Office of Public Affairs is bringing significant changes to how the office operates. Outside of tours, we're reeling in the focus on our press corps. The press corps, all the members of our media that have registered, now have access to specific or special benefits. The press corps will have never seen before photos specifically for their media use. Additionally, they are notified of the president and vice president's schedule on an at-will basis. As long as you are a registered media company under the BRA, you can quickly register using the form that I've sent out, and the benefits are available to you and your staff. If you need the form, please contact me. I will send it to you after this. And please understand that you must register with my office before receiving your benefits. Now onto some scheduling notes. Both President Owen and Vice President PTY are continuing to uphold their commitment to activity. Following PTY's Oswald incident on July 1st, he was ready by morning on July 3rd and at the Department of State for that state visit, which I mentioned previously. Since taking office, the Vice President has also taken part in events such as an inspection of the White House Military Office, attended a Department of War medal ceremony, participated in a White House staff meeting, and presided over the first session of the 84th Senate. When Owen was sworn in, he got right to work with a swipe of his pen, submitting 10 nominations, signing 3 memorandums, appointed a new C-SPAN chair, and prepared 4 executive orders, which are all ready to sign. Following this press conference, President Owen will be signing these executive orders in the Oval Office. Our members of the media and public are invited to this event. Feel free to stick around in the room once we're done in here. I'm sure Secret Service will guide you to the Oval Office. And I also don't want to get ahead of the president, but in terms of the EOs that are going to be signed later tonight, we have EO 131, National Holidays, EO 132, NSSE Departmental Priority Mandate, EO 133, Oswald After Action Mandate, and EO 134, Federal Background Checking System. On our nation's birthday, the president hosted a celebration in the Rose Garden. I personally couldn't attend, but I heard everyone had a great time. She also received a tour of the newly revamped Homeland Security headquarters, which is an event that'll be hosted for the public in the coming weeks. You'll hear the details regarding the change in Secret Service leadership at that event. We're going to hold off on that for now. That following morning, he attended his first salute as Commander-in-Chief with the Vice President at his side. President Owen made a promise to meet with essential departments and agencies, so he is delivering on that promise. The president has already held discussions with our intelligence agencies, Diplomatic Security Service, the Metropolitan Police Department, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. The president and this administration will bring activity to the streets of DC, benefiting every sector of this group, especially our crime community. As you can see, they are very active today. We cannot forget about them. It's only been a week and 2 days since the president and vice president were sworn in, and with the work that we're doing, I assure you that we're just getting started. And with that, I will be happy to start taking everyone's questions, but whether you're in-game or joining us from home, please use the raise hand feature on Discord. Keep the hand up, and if you want to be brought on stage. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you want to use in-game text. And with that, Dennis from Channel 11 News, why don't you kick us off with our first question? Oh, his request disappeared. I'm assuming, there you go. I'm going to bring you up on stage.
All right. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for inviting me up stage. Is there any details currently regarding Sauce's appointments within the Department of Justice?
Yeah, that might have been lost in the bombings that we had, but Mr. S. Sauce 17 is being appointed as nominated as our next Attorney General, and for Deputy Attorney General, we have Mr. Bupa filling that position.
All right, and for the OIG that's currently vacant, is there any updates regarding that? Will the president send a nomination in shortly?
I'd have to get back to you on that. I can check with the president right after this.
And the last thing I'd like to ask is, within Secret Service leadership, I know that Valkyrie just got appointed Secret Service leader. Is there any updates regarding activity in Secret Service?
I mean, as you can see, our Secret Service is on today. They're helping protect this press conference. We're definitely hoping that with Mr. Valkyrie's leadership, that we see an uptick in Secret Service activity and reform in general.
All right, that's all my questions. I'll maybe ask some later. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna call on Miss TSC next.
Yeah, hi, hello. Question
Hi.
for you, Prime Maximus.
Sure.
Oh, looks like they're shooting.
Yeah,
Those are my goons.
yeah,
Very sorry
okay.
about them. But anyways, back to my question.
Uh-huh.
How are we to trust you as the press secretary in the face of this administration publicly if you've been known to hold positions and then up and leave those positions without letting anybody know? I believe you were in the House a few terms ago and you just up and disappeared and were not fulfilling the duties of your job, which you were elected to do. And same way to prior to that, like you had just upped and left. So how are we supposed to trust you as the press secretary in the face of this administration?
Sure. I think that my credentials pretty much fit this role. I've done this exact position at the Department of State. I can assure you that I won't be up and leaving this time. And if I
You
do
said that
up
last
and-
time.
When? I don't remember that.
When you were joined the House, you said that last
Oh, I
time. So
rejoined the
that's what my
House?
question is. Yeah, when you were in the House that last session, this year actually, you were like, "No, I'm not leaving. Like I'm back. I'm back to stay." Blah 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 blah. And then you upped and left, and then you left your constituents without a representative.
Well,
But go
what I
on.
can
Sorry, go on.
All good. What I can say is that this press briefing is on the activities at the White House, the president and the vice president. If you'd like to talk about my personal matters after this, I'd be more than willing.
Well, I mean, I'm asking
definitely-
you
I
specifically
definitely-
because you're a reflection of the administration and you're the voice for the administration. So it does reflect on you, not on them. I mean, it could reflect on them that they
Sure.
picked you as a person to represent them if they didn't know your history. Maybe that's telling of who they are as a person. But go on.
Yeah, no, I think they used my credentials when they selected me for this position, but I think that I do need to get some details straight regarding previous activity within this group before I delve into this conversation. Do you have any other questions?
What do you mean by that?
I think that I don't have all the facts in front of me. I'm not aware of which House term you're referring to, but
This
with
year, the
some-
last how many terms have you served in the House this year?
If I may jump in,
Oh, sure, get some help coming in.
TSC
Yeah. May need some
TSC,
help. Yeah, go on after that.
TSC, I admire your question, especially since it talks about the past. Either way, Prime Maximus has shown great credibility in the White House. He has shown great progress in the White House, especially from the last administrations that have given no duties to staffers or press secretary. When we entered the White House, we found the congressional affairs literally to inactivity. There were multiple categories open, multiple channels, all unused. There was so many things to reform. Prime helped me do that since the start of the term. I can promise you that every single staff within my team and within the team of President Owen has remained active and contributed to every step of the way.
Right, yeah, I'm not denying that claim.
Hold up. Let me finish.
Oh, sure.
Thank
Oh,
you.
go on.
So we will, of course, take accountability for any inactivity within the administration, and that includes within my staff and me myself. So of course, activity is one certain priority that we have within the administration, this administration at least, and we will ensure to uphold that during the rest of our term.
Okay, so you said a lot of words. I have a follow-up for both of you. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. You said a lot of words there. And like you said, I'm not denying Prime hasn't done anything currently. I'm not denying he has not reformed stuff, made press secretary office a thing again, because it wasn't prior. But what this group is known for, what you guys usually do as well, is you guys go based on people's history. So, I mean, his history speaks for himself. And maybe he's active now, but what's to say tomorrow he ups and leaves? That was just my question, and to reflect into that. But to move on from that, since you are just going to deflect the answer, with Bupa, as you guys said, that Mr. Owen has looked at getting new faces into departments. Why are we nominating Ancient Bupa to be the deputy attorney general? He's not a new face. He's a prior president.
Sorry, I believe that Mr. Bupa serves as sort of the mentorship that this administration has promised. We're putting Sauce in that Attorney General position with Bupa providing any mentorship or guidance as Deputy
So
Attorney
is
General.
Bupa the Attorney General or is Sauce the Attorney General?
No,
Because it sounds like Bupa's the shadow Attorney General. That's just not the one that's the publicly facing one. So you can get away
No.
with saying that you've got a new face in there.
No, I believe that Sauce will have full power to act as Attorney General. We have Deputy Attorney General helping him out as a Deputy Attorney General should.
Interesting. Well, other than that, Secret Service wise, I know Denisha had made a comment about Secret Service, but I mean, I think today there's been at least more than one Secret Service on, which is a turn from the last time, whenever last administration. What has this administration done as far as changes go with Secret Service? And speaking of Valkyrie being nominated as the Secret Service director, how did that come about? Seeing as he has not been in the community for that long.
Well, I'd have to refer you to the Department of Homeland Security to answer that question in regards to some of the details of the reforms that are coming. But Mr. Valkyrie, again, as administration has said, we want to bring in new faces, and we believe that, especially with the Secret Service, that some new, fresh ideas on activity and reforms are definitely needed.
And following up, sorry, about everything earlier to the activity about how things were left non-reformed. Is he the Secretary of War, or am I mistaken? I feel like that's the last thing I saw. Remy, he was nominated to be Secretary of War. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
He was. Okay, yeah. I hope you would know that. You're press secretary.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, he was the prior White House chief of staff. So why would you nominate someone who barely did any work in the White House to go serve in the Department of War if they did such a shitty job as the White House chief of staff?
I can speak for Rem that I did work under Rem. The White House was not in the state of inactivity that the vice president's office was.
Well, hold on. Sorry, you said it wasn't a state of activity, but Astronaut just said how it was in such dire condition and how you guys came in and reformed everything because it was in such a shitty condition. Mm-hmm. So was it or was it not?
I believe that he was referring to the Office of Congressional Affairs, and that's why we went ahead with the reforms and put it and conjoined it with the Office of Public Affairs, which seems to be working much better.
Which, okay, sorry, I'm almost done by questioning. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. Which I get, but you guys are claiming how much activity you guys have brought and reform, but prior, Remy did not have a press secretary. It was just Remy and some of his staffers. So are you saying Remy's good or Remy's bad? Because prior to this, whatever Astronaut said, he said that how shitty everything was, and you guys had to do a lot of work. There's a lot of revamping and X, Y, and Z that you guys had to do. But you're still saying that Remy did a perfect job and was a great White House chief of staff.
You're not going to put words in my mouth. I never said you're not going to put words in my mouth.
That's what I'm understanding from your words.
I want you to pull the quote because I never said that Remy did a perfect job. I said that I worked under him while he was chief of staff and the White House was active.
Okay, so Remy didn't do a good job, is what you're saying, but he's qualified to be the Secretary of War. Are you afraid that the Department of War?
I think that Remy will speak for himself in that hearing before the Senate, and if the Senate chooses to confirm him, then that's up to Remy's qualifications.
I mean, he may be but that's what I'm getting at, though, is you guys are saying in one breath of how bad the White House was left off whenever the new administration took over. But let's put the guy that was in charge of all of it into the Department of War, one of the most important departments, I would argue, within the United States to help protect us. And we put him into a position of that and to be the secretary. How does that make... Do you see how that's kind of concerning? And I mean, sure, you could blame it. You could say the Senate, that's their job. But is it not your all's job to advise the president and to give him advice on those people that are coming up into the administration? It doesn't make much sense.
Sorry, just to jump back to your first question. I, again, am not too sure where you're getting the notion that Remy is... We said anywhere that Remy was doing, like, a horrible job throughout the
It was implied by your guys' statement in regards to how the White House channels and everything else was left whenever you guys took over. That was implied, because who else would you be blaming for that?
I mean, just the staff themselves.
Who's in charge of the staff, and so you don't take accountability for staff that are underneath you?
I do.
So you see,
I will say that Remy did.
That's why I was implying that.
The staff. That's what I will say on this matter. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's all. You didn't really answer them, but I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, I believe Quad has the next question. Quad, let me know if you want to come up on stage or if you want to ask it through chat. All right, Quad is asking it through DMs. I will read out the question once it is sent to me. Quad said, does the president see the Taiwan-China relationship to be fixable with the recent travel ban, etc.? I would have to refer back to the Department of State statement that I read out. I believe that in its current form that all diplomatic, military, and organizational relations have been severed. So just based off analysis of that, I do not believe that that relationship is fixable if they're going to continue accusing us of negotiations that we were not looking to do. Do you have any other questions? Perfect. All right. Are there any other questions? Anyone on stage? Anyone in game? Let me know.
I've got one more. Oops, I went to raise my hand. My bad. Oh, let Denisha go first.
I am gonna bring Dennis up on stage first.
All right. Hello. Hello. Can you
Hi.
guys hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. For you regarding the situation with Taiwan, what accusations did they make to the U.S. for the public?
Could you repeat your question?
What accusations did they bring forth to the United States?
Sure. I am going to read out the statement that they sent out regarding the situation. Quote, the Republic of China has abrogated the Mutual Defense Agreement with the United States. In a statement released by the Ministry of National Defense, the Chief of General Staff stated, pursuant to the orders of the President, I hereby withdraw the Republic of China from the Mutual Defense Agreement with the United States of America and terminate their agreement accordingly. This comes after the United States Department of War was offered a very generous and comprehensive status of forces agreement, but later plagiarized it to add unfavorable articles and diplomatic immunity. After expressing our discontent with their unagreed upon actions, they failed to meet at a compromise and rapidly deteriorated efforts. During this time, it was made evident by members of the ROC, Ministry of National Defense, that they rally significantly low, only have one branch, and because of this, they would rally even lower in exercises due to time zones. I am disturbed by having my time wasted, our documents plagiarized, and witnessing the reckless decision making by egoists. The Ministry of National Defense, Foreign Affairs, and Office of the President have released a joint statement calling the events an unfortunate escalation of unprofessionalism and a regrettable roadblock for China-U.S. relations. And that is directly, end quote, that is directly from ROC.
Okay, does the United States currently deny these plagiarism accusations or no?
The Secretary of State denied it completely in his statement. The agreement that was sent by the ROC was just AI slop, hence why I use that phrase.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. I'll go back down.
All right, sounds good. All right, it looks like, unless there's questions in games, I'm going to re-invite TSC back on stage.
Yeah, thank you. Final, just to top it off. So, are you confirming yes or no that maybe I shouldn't say confirm. Is it in this administration's opinion that Remy did not do a good job as a chief of staff? I'm not going to confirm or deny. I believe that's a matter of last administration. You can ask the former president on if his chief of staff did a good job or not. I mean, I would say he thought so because he gave him a presidential medal. Sorry, I think it's just unprofessional if the White House took a stance on if a current member of their administration. I think it would, but you're asking regarding his qualities of chief of staff. Does that not affect his current role as the Secretary of War? Well, he's now serving as our Department of he's serving in the Department of War as the Secretary of War, not White House Chief of Staff. He does not have any involvement at the White House. Oh, so the Secretary of War has no involvement at the White House? In regards to organizational activities like Astro and I are. Okay, then are you concerned for the Secretary of War or Department of War's organizational strategies and whatnot?
I
Considering,
don't believe. Mhm.
go on. No, sorry, go on.
Please go on. You're good.
No,
I'll
no,
let you
no.
finish I'll let you finish your question before I respond.
I'll just repeat it. Are you concerned for the Department of War's structure and internal affairs now that Remy is going to be the the Secretary of War?
Well, I haven't spoken with the president regarding that, but I can get back to you with an answer. With
Yeah,
an
I'd love an
official
answer
response,
on
'cause I
that.
don't want to go off the record and state something that's not of this administration.
Well, this isn't off the record; it's on the record. You're in a public forum,
Mhm.
speaking behind the White House podium.
Mhm.
So you said you'll get back to me on that. What's the timeline looking like?
I
on
can
that?
get back to you with that when I speak with the president, and we can get you an official stance on that.
Awesome. I love that. That's all I got
Of
for
course.
you.
I will make sure. I'll message me after this. I will get you a
Oh,
response.
I will. Thank you.
Of course. Are there any other questions? In-game stage, let me know. All right. Well, if not, please feel free for those in game to stick around in this room. The Secret Service will guide you to the Oval Office when it is time for the executive order signing event. Besides that, thank you all so much for attending our first press conference. We look forward to upholding the qualities of transparency and an effective White House. Thank you so much.